I'd say that way.
Yeah, in America it's much more mainstream, and I think if the thinking changed here, then you'd see a lot more science fiction on television.
Write letters to them. And they probably won't.
Yeah, use them as firelighters. Okay. Oh, Jim?
Tell us how the project started. Tell us what was in your minds when you decided to make a thing like Cyberon.
Basically, Bill's brief to all of the writers for BBV, and including Lance, we were given the brief to do something that was set on contemporary Earth, that had a drama feel to it, that had the science fiction element, but the drama element and the relationship, the interaction between the characters was just as important as the rest of the story. And Lance came up with the best idea, which was Cyberon, as you said. My idea was set in a nuclear bunker, which was, I think, would have been far too expensive to film. And it was far too informed by, I think, The Last Train. I'd been watching The Last Train at the time, and I wanted to do something like that last episode of The Last Train, which I thought was really good. But I think this is really good. This is a good science fiction soap, which I think is a great way of summing it up. And I don't mean that in a derogatory sense. I think, you know, the soap opera elements of it are really good, and the interaction between the characters. I think that's really important. It's good drama. Okay.
Another question?
Oh, is there?
I just wondered if there's any chance that Lance might novelise it.
I don't know. I don't know if Lance wants to novelise it. He can if he wants. I don't know if the BBC would publish it. Yeah. What's next? Well, plug. Do you have a licence to save this planet? Which is our comedy spoof, starring Sylvester McCoy as the Foot Doctor.
It's halfway through production at the moment. Tomorrow evening, 5.
I don't know the time actually.
I think we're on time. We're showing what we've got so far.
Which is the 12 minutes that finished.
Which is finished.
Yeah, Sylvester plays the Foot Doctor, who's no relation to any character you other might think he is, who travels through space in a washing machine. And he's up against the Licensed Reality Corporation, who are based on some faceless monolithic conglomerate that I wouldn't like to say who that's based on.
And the Cyberons are desperately trying to be licensed.
Yeah, Cyberons desperately want to become licensed. And it features some autons, a CGI Trinoid, which when it's done, when it's actually finished, will blow people away, I think.
I think you have the invisible Trinoid.
Yes, the Emperor's new Trinoid. And there'll be autons, Sontarans, Cyberons, Trinoids, and the licensor, who's the character not based on the master.
And for anyone who pre-ordered it, pickle jars.
Oh yes, actually, yeah. Can I plug that? Yeah. For anybody who pre-orders it, it's only £10, and that's including postage package, delivered to your door. Steve will take a video capture of you, and there's a scene with the licensor, and your head will appear pickled in a jar behind the licensor as a CGI effect. Yeah, so you can be in it, and you can point it out and say, look, Mum, I've been pickled by BBV. No, don't
It'll be around about lunchtime.
Yeah, lunchtime tomorrow. We've got about 31 jars full already, and there's a few more to go. So anybody who fancies being pickled, come and see us tomorrow. Anybody who fancies buying Cyberon, we've got a few copies left. Come down and buy that tomorrow. I'm terrible plugger. Yes, sir. Sorry. Well, there's
audios.
Well, there's quite a few audios coming up. We've got Lawrence Miles has done a Faction Paradox audio for us called The 11-Day Empire. John Blum has done one called The Eye Job, which is a space version of the Italian Job. Cross between the Italian Job, Reservoir Dogs, in space, which is quite funny. Yeah, we've got a Zygon story, The Barnacle Baby. There's My Story Revenant, if that ever gets done. David McKinsey has written a script for us. Martin Day is writing a script for us with The Malice. We've got the rights to The Malice. David Elms is doing a Triagon story, follow-up, well, kind of a prequel to Paradise Towers. If I can ever track David Elms down. I think he's in the room this evening, hiding somewhere. Yes, he is. And then another video, as I said before, which I don't want to say too much about now, just in case it doesn't come off really. But that will rely heavily on CGI effects.
Well, there's plenty coming out.
Plenty coming up, season 4 of the audios. Do many people listen to the audios? Just one. Right, thanks, Dave. Oh, 2, 3? No, that's it. I think that's pretty much everything that's coming up. Have I missed anybody out who's written a story?
You're the script editor.
Yeah, I don't know. I may have missed somebody out, very sorry. And just today, hot off the press, I've negotiated with another Who writer. I can't say too much. Somebody who's written some really good Doctor Who books. Who's done a script for us. Oh, Dave Stone has done one as well. Dave Stone did a probe with Caroline John. I don't think she knows that yet, though. So don't tell her. Yeah, audio.
Of course, tomorrow morning, we'll be revisiting 10 years of BBV.
Yeah, I don't know what we're going to do in that one.
No, I've no idea.
We'll make that up in the morning.
So tomorrow morning, 10 o'clock,
Here.
we'll be up
Be
here
here on
again,
the square.
and we'll go through just about everything that BBV have done in the last 2 years, and quickly skip over the last 10 years.
Yes, yes. Quickly skip over. Okay, I think we've outstayed our welcome, I really do. I think we've got to finish now.
Thanks.
So, thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Typical English fella.
I thought I'd show you the jacket again. Wasn't Colin Baker rude? What a rude man. Colin's left us now, but can I just tell you that I rang Colin Baker on Thursday evening and he agreed to come, and I think that is just marvellous. Thank you very much. Now, I'm sure you will realise that we are not a professional production company, we are fans like you. And this is a team effort, and I would like to acknowledge one of our team. Joyce O'Grady is the lady who was on registrations today, and I'd like to welcome her on the stage. Joyce, can you come and join me? She doesn't know about this. Joyce is Mark O'Grady's mother, and this Monday is your 60th birthday. So, ladies and gentlemen, first of all, let's sing Happy Birthday. Are you ready? And this is Joyce. I can't sing at all, but you can help if you like. I didn't know I was going to be doing this until about 5 minutes ago. So, can you please join me? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Joyce. Happy birthday to you. And we've got a little present for you. Annika? Wow. Whilst I've got Annika here, Annika hasn't appeared on stage for a long, long time. Now, the last panel we did today was me interviewing Sylvester and Colin, and at the very last moment, Annika read that audition script. I think she was absolutely wonderful. So, can you please just say hands up for her?
Bottom half of the service program outfit.
Shall we get on with the show? Because this is outrageous, I can tell you. Ladies and gentlemen, let's start our cabaret.
But here we go. Now, the next number I'm going to be assisted by, I've got a backing group, and, I've got them, I've looked for quite a while, so if I could introduce them to you, it's Cora and Nanette. So could we have Cora and Nanette on stage, please?
Mr. Gary Downey, my mother and my grandmother. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Paul Presser.
This wasn't my idea, mind. In fact, if it had been up to me, I'd been on my second Bacardi Breezer in Torquay by now. This lot. They called me up last Thursday. I'd just settled down with the war games and a quarter at Radishes, so I wasn't best pleased. I said, who is it, and make it brief, because I got a howling draft through my back passage. And if I'd wanted to freeze to death, I'd have booked a trip to Telos and made a day of it. He said, it's Gary Downey from the television programme. Do you remember me? I said, yes, I do. I lent you 2 condoms that I never saw back. He said, I'm not the producer for you. So I said, I hope you sealed the envelope properly. It's an old fanzine editor retort of mine. On he comes, the producer. I could hear in his Hawaiian shirt screaming even long distance. He said, is that Paul? I said, if it's not, these pants are a remarkably good fit. He said, Paul, do you like fun? I said, no, I don't. I had enough of that in 1986 when I got trapped in a lift with Nicola Bryant. He said, I wondered if you'd do a spot on the Battlefield Cabaret. One of our real celebrities has a drinking problem and has to spend the evening in the bar eating peanuts. I said, well, I'm quite pushed busy-wise, actually. Nicholas Courtney's asked me to go around and help clean up his flat. And just taking his empties back is a month's work in itself. And besides that, he backs onto a cake factory, so we're dusting his knickknacks all the day long. He said, well, why don't you come along to Coventry and we'll discuss it man to man? Well, he's as much like a man as Bonnie Langford, but I just suit his staff and rang off. So I fixed up a lift with John Leeson. Well, he owed me a favour. and he's got a very roomy box saw. And it was no bother for him to drop me off, because he's got a very rare complaint from years of crawling around on all fours, and he was coming into Coventry anyway to have his hip replaced. So we arrived, well, we stopped off at Anne Summers on the way to return a, well, let's just call it an item. Who should I bump into? Annika Wills! Totally bewildered. Turns out she was looking for the organic veg. Well, you know she's colourblind, don't you? Can't tell red from blue. Once totted into a brothel thinking it was a police station. I mean, it was all right. One of the girls came out and helped her change a tyre. Anyway, we dropped her off at Tesco's and came on through. I'm ushered in to see Mark O'Grady. He hasn't changed. New suit. If it hadn't been bright pink, it'd been a dead ringer Grand Robinson. He knocks back his gin and tonic and he says, "Paul, how can we tempt you?" and starts boasting about his big budget. I said if it's that big, he could splash out on some hair products. I kept well buttoned. So I stated my terms. 1. Proper remuneration. I'd read in a fanzine about Anthony's so-called Amy and his astronomical figure. Well, it wasn't my fanzine, you know. It was wrapped around a rather delicate bone china reproduction of Bessie I'd seen in the dealer's room. 2. I want a decent outfit. I've seen the things that poor old Caroline John has to wear for these cabaret dues. And 3, I want a decent hotel room. Not some little cubbyhole next to the actor's green room. How you're supposed to gather your thoughts in the face of Sylvester McCoy practicing his washboard and spoon routine, I do not know. Well, he looked a bit dubious and said, "Well, I'll have to speak to the producer." I thought, that's leadership for you. Where were you during the season 23 hiatus? Anyway, we reached a compromise. I got what I wanted and they didn't. I got quite a nice room. I had to share it with Fraser Hyatt. Those bagpipes get everywhere. But he did promise to lend me the kilt later. Anyway, I must be off. If we beat the traffic, Colin Baker's promised to take me back to his place for tea and crumpets. You know, he claims to be dieting, but every time he opens his mouth to mention Paul Darrow, there's a terrible whiff of pear drops. Anyway, Elizabeth, there's no laying hands on her after 4 in the afternoon.
Mr. Paul Presser. Ladies and gentlemen, the police of the evening.